coming to you live from the Inland Empire in California, here with a very special guest, hip hop artist Trïppy. I'm sure you guys have heard the viral track BBL Drizzy, which is being streamed on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Instagram. And I know a lot of you guys have probably been using that sample on all your videos and whatnot. Trïppy, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. I'm feeling blessed. How are you today?
Living life to the fullest, and
That's right. That's right.
able to be alive.
That's right, man. Hey, in this world, that's all we can ask for, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You have right now the hottest track, I think, out virally. Social media is been viral for weeks now. Everybody's been playing it all over the world, even here in Hawaii.
Okay. All right.
How did that song get to where it's at right now?
I mean, honestly, one day I was just, scrolling through Instagram and I see old Metro Boomin and, he's involving himself in the Drake and Kendrick beef and everything. And, he makes that beat and he says, best verse on here, you get a free beat. So I'm like, sitting there like, oh, that'd be awesome, get a free beat from Metro Boomin. So I take the beat and I start writing to it and, I'm not messing with nothing yet in the studio as far as it's concerned, but I did, write some stuff and then I look again and he switches the terms of what he was talking about and says, oh, 10,000 for the first place with a free beat and then free beat for second place. So that when he said that, I'm just like, oh shoot, I'm on it instantly. So I jumped in and went right in the studio and, laid it down and I put it out. And when I put it out, I was thinking, it's so many people putting it out at the moment that it's like, I'm thinking, yeah, I might hit a little, 10,000 maybe views, something like that. I didn't think I was gonna do nothing major. And shoot, I gave it honestly about a week's time. And within a week's time, I'm seeing numbers soaring because I'm mainly on Instagram when I'm social media doing things like that. So that's where I started to notice like I'm scrolling through reels and I'm hearing my sound. I'm like, oh, hold up. Oh, that's my picture right there. Oh, wait, okay, cool. They're using my sound. Hit like 60, I think it hit 65,000 reels made on Instagram. And then I started to look at my Spotify numbers. I see that's going up. I say, okay, that's cool. It's doing good. It actually hit, I think, 1,900,000 plays, something like that. It started getting me a little more traction on my other music as well because I was already putting stuff out before that, but it was like, I'm just starting out, so I wasn't really seeing too many numbers, not nothing major, but I'm starting hearing, okay, they listening to this one and this one and this one, and I finally hit 2 million. I was at 2 million streams all the way around on Spotify, 65,000 on Apple Music. They're making TikToks with that sound. They're making reels on Instagram. Everywhere you can find it, they're using it, and so it blew up. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't reach something. I did something here. And I've heard, no shade, but I heard the other versions of everybody's little remix to it and everything. And I honestly might have heard like one, two that sounded pretty decent, but I lyrically, I felt like I had one that wasn't being touched. I did something good, you know what I mean? Like I put something out there. I thought about it. I didn't just put out something in 20 minutes and just run with it. Excuse me, and run with the like a freestyle or something like that. Like get a little more lyrical with it and touch base on something that I felt I really could touch base with. And I got to where I'm at now. 2 million views in and everything, so it feels good, honestly, to get to that point because I ain't never thought I was going to get there at all.
Right. I mean, you've just recently reached, I believe, 2 million streams on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, it's an accolade for sure. It's definitely something that I honestly didn't think I'd get to, somebody like myself. I not things usually don't come that easily to me. So, for that, something like that to happen, it's like I'm trying to be very humble about it, honestly. You know,
BBL Drizzy, you was able to do a freestyle and it blew up on social media and worldwide streams. Tell us
right.
tell us the success on BBL Drizzy. I mean, I know that there's a lot of things going on with that track right now. People trying to claim it, saying that this or whatever or whatnot. But let
Honestly, yeah, like that has put, I think honestly probably because of that. Because I mean, to hit 2 million Spotify, it's hitting 60,000 on Apple. It's everybody using it on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and everywhere. Because I look every day. I'm looking, and I see it, and they're using it everywhere they can, and I got verified people using it. I got athletes like when it was on Instagram. I'm telling you now, you had countless numbers of businesses and athletes, pro athletes, and real actual influencer type of people using this sound, and so I think from that it might have gotten into people's heads that they might be able to try to take it and do what they do with it, but at the end of the day, it's still mine, and I feel like people are going to get what they got coming to them at the end of the day. Because at the moment, I'm dealing with an issue with these this other artist has taken my song and placed it on their account and claiming it as their own, but have no verse on it, no beat change up, anything like that. It's strictly all mine, and it's even to the point this person has not just taken my song, they also took one of Tory Lane's songs. They have that on their account, claiming that to be their song. They got about three or four other songs, Kanye West song on there as well. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing claiming it as their own and everything. So but like my dad say, haters gonna hate, especially when you're doing good, and that's what I chump it up to. That it's just, I'm doing good at the moment, so people are trying to get in where they fit in and try to, eat off my table, but my table real small. You feel me? It's not, you're not eating off this table. Uh-uh.
you mentioned Kanye West and Tory Lanez. Now you've done songs with them or have collaborations with them.
No, I don't. I went to the person's page. His name is Santia too. If you look him up on Spotify, he has his own account. He took my song BBL Drizzy. It's still my cover art. It's still my verse. Shout out to Metro Boomin for the beat. Shout out to King Wallonius for the sample. But it's ultimately that's my song. And I look at his catalog of other songs, and he has a song that he stole from Tory Lanez. He has a song that he stole from Kanye West. So I'm like, it's not just me, and it's not just underground, starting out type of artist. This guy will come at you no matter how famous you are. He's coming for your money. That's ultimately what it is. Because you take a person's song, you taking their views, you're taking at the end of the day and saying, hey, this is mine. This is my song. All those views are mine. Payments, it's gonna go to him. I don't even know this guy. Like it kind of messes things up. For something like that to happen, it's not a good look at all.
You've reached 1 million streams on Spotify. You're blessed. You're happy in regards to it. Who do you attribute your success on that?
I think it's word of mouth. You feel me? Like, especially with something like that, when you have that beef that was going down with Kendrick and Drake, and then Metro gets involved with it. The world is basically involved because everybody's listening, everybody's talking about it. It's like I attribute the success of that song to that. But I think at the end of the day, it did bring me in followers. It brought me in fluid views and fans that want to listen to not just BBL Drizzy, but the other stuff that I have as well. Because I'm like I said, I'm looking, I see that, and I'm like, okay, BBL Drizzy's doing this thing. It's up here, but from something like this, it's like, oh, I'm looking, oh, I hit 1,000 thousand followers on Spotify. So I get me a little fan base. It shows me people that are listening and playlisting the songs and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, I know people are actually listening. I got people that if I put more songs out, which I got, some more stuff coming because I'm always constantly dropping, that they're actually going to listen to it. They're going to hear something that hits home or relates to what they're doing or feeling in life, and playlist that. I'm gonna listen to that, when I'm chilling or in the car or something like that. So at the end of the day, I feel like that's what it is. You can't. I wouldn't want to lie and sit here and say like, oh yeah, I had so many fans and I already had this and that. I didn't have anything before this. I was sitting there looking like, I'm 33 years old, don't know how far I could get music industry at this time in my life, but when you see stuff like that, it's like an eye opener. It shows you that it's possible that if you really try hard and you keep working towards what you believe in, you could possibly get to something that you didn't think you could.
With all that being said, career prior to wanting to pursue.
Or I was doing music, I was doing regular Joe, average Joe jobs, man, working grocery stores, gas stations, whatever I could get my hands on just to make sure I'm feeding my family. And I'm still doing that. Even though I'm making music, it's not like the music and that music money is fluid. So you like, my advice to anybody that might be watching this right now is that if you are doing music, you make sure you have a steady income. You make sure that you are taking care of what needs to be taken care of on the side of that. And if you really want to do music, you just keep that as that hobby and passion. And you work hard on it in your free time. You know, I wouldn't want nobody to think like, oh yeah, you can just do the music and you're just gonna make it instantly off of it. No, not at all. You gotta make sure you still, if you gotta work at McDonald's or you gotta work at Stater Brothers or something, gas station, you go and you do that. You make that steady income so you can have it to go ahead and do what you need to do in this life.
You just recently released a new single, which is on Apple Music, called Can I Fly?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That's a good one right there. I dropped that, not like officially dropped, but in my little catalog, personal catalog, I put that out in on another beat completely, actually. And it was something I let my wife listen to, and she says, "Oh, I like this one. I like the way that you played on that one with your words and the vocal pattern, cadence, and all that." I'm like, okay. I have been recently working on trying to make beats and try to do my own little producing here and there. So I took just the vocals off of that and went ahead and created a new entire beat for it, and I went ahead and I dropped that with the Can I Fly, and so that's my first official track that's completely trippy. The beat is me. I wrote it. I recorded it. I mixed and mastered it myself. I had no help whatsoever. That's my first one. So, and kind of me opening that door to show the world that I'm not just, you're not gonna box me in as just this rapper that just raps like this. I also produce. You want to beat? I can't get you right. And that one's also, while we're on the topic of that song, it's one of those songs I feel like when you listen to it, it's one of those ones that can be relatable to you. More of like that feeling of like, oh, I'm getting here. Can I keep going? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep trying. And you a lot of people, you get to that point where I want to give up, and it's basically a song to let you know you don't want to give up, and you don't know who's on your side. Basically, you don't know who really has your back unless you reach out there and you jump. If you don't jump, you're not gonna know if you can fly or not.
And in regards to being an artist now, I know you've been doing music for quite some time. Who are some of your musical inspirations?
Oh man, the list the list for that is quite long. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been listening to music since Run DMC, you know, like way back in the day. If I could at least give you like my top five, you know, inspirations, I'd have to go with honestly, Run DMC is up there, you know, in that top five because that when I tell people, oh, you know, first song I ever heard was a Run DMC song. I didn't hear nothing else. It was the first thing I heard in headphones. You know, I would also say Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, JID, and Isaiah Rashad and Mac Miller. Rest in peace. You know, he was honestly one of my favorites. Him and Kendrick are like my top two artists of all time that really I gained my inspiration from when it comes to making music. It's more of like the wordplay and the feelings behind it because music isn't just the beat and the words. It's you know if you really listen in, there's feelings in there. You know from the right artist, you'll feel the right feelings in that track. You won't just hear it.
And when we talk about music, obviously doing music for quite some time now. Inland Empire, which could also be in the San Bernardino area in California. What's it like being from the Inland Empire and what's the music scene like there?
Honestly, being Inland Empire music scene is going up right now. There's a lot of artists out here right now. There's a lot of artists that have started here and moving on to different things, you know, and I think it's kind of just all around. You really gotta go out there and search it and hear it for yourself, you know, so you can really catch what's going on. Because the Inland Empire ain't like no other counties. It's not like no other cities. We different out here. You know, everybody got a style of their own. You're not just gonna listen to these five people and it's gonna sound like the same group kind of thing. You know, like literally every single person that's really making music out here has a complete style of their own, a complete way of approach about everything. You know, coming from different places in this. You know, and because it's a boiling pot. It's a boiling pot of different cultures, different races, different thoughts and walks of life, you know, like we're not all the same person. We're not all the trying to do the same things in life, you know.
With your success that you've been having right now with BBL Drizzy, how do you handle the success? How do you handle the fame with that? I mean, I know that you mentioned about the challenges and the adversities that you've had to deal with in regards to the viral success on that song.
Right.
How do you handle the success and how do you keep yourself focused? And
I do it very quietly. I stay to myself and I try to handle business according to plans. Like I make plans and I try to stick to those plans and make sure that everything falls in place and you know, I stay grounded at home. I make sure I'm in my kids and my wife's life at all times, and they help keep me grounded. You know, and I tell you right now, if it wasn't for my kids, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So you know, for them, it's like I do this for them. You know, it's a passion of mine, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's a career choice. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm choosing to make music for the rest of my life. And if I'm gonna do that, even if I'm doing it on the side of a steady income, I want it to bring in something to the table. I want them to make sure they look at it and say, "Oh, Dad making music, and he made sure we got this and that and the third, and we don't struggle for nothing in this world." You know, like that's the ultimate goal of it. You know, so that's basically what it is. You know, I feel like I don't really talk to many people. I don't have a lot of, you know, big circle, nothing like that. So, you know, I at the end of the day I'm not walking around boasting and you know, unless I might be on Instagram, I might, you know, make a post or two, you know. You know, I gotta feel, you know, you gotta have that promotion somewhere. But other than that, you know, I'm just selling through in the studio making more hits.
with your success that you have right now, what do you wish you would have known when you first started out in your career?
Honestly, how hard it is to get connections, because I feel like if you don't, if like how I said, I'm at home. I'm not really saying like, oh, I go out and I'm in these different music scenes. I'm not going out and where people are doing shows and all this and getting connected with people. It's hard to connect if you're not face to face with people. Because I've tried to reach out to certain people and certain companies and pitch Trïppy, to them, and it's hard to sit back and say, hey, it's been a few months. I ain't got nowhere. I ain't talked to not one person and got some type of form of a connection and into that industry. And even if it's trying to be underground, like I feel like you still need certain connections, producers, just entertainment people in general that kind of been there, done that, that either can help you along the way or like you could gain some type of knowledge from just in that aspect.
Earlier, we mentioned about what was your career like before music. I'm sure there was probably some career goals that you had in mind. So, what were some of the career goals in your life?
Tattoos. I've been tattooed since I was 18, and I'm artistic just in that light. So I tried to push that. But honestly, like I was talking to my wife about the other day, I feel like at this age, I kind of feel like I know what brings me more happiness, what I feel like there's more passion there, and that's music for me. Like I still do the tattoos on the side. People hit me up, oh, I do this, yeah, yeah, I got you, no problem. But the music is like where my focus is where my mind goes when I start to feel like I'm getting creative. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna write these bars, or I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make this beat because I'm feeling hearing this in my head or whatever. And when it comes to the art, it's like I don't know. I think at this age too, my hand kind of, I get pains here and there. I'm like, I don't feel like, maybe arthritis kicking in, getting old or something. So I gave that up more or less, to pursue this more mainstream and really get my name out there. Because one day everybody gonna hear Trïppy, they all gonna know me. Tell you that right now.
And with that being said, what are the future goals, the future plans that you want to pursue in your career?
Honestly, right now it's getting the Trïppy name out there. It's trying to get my brand out there, Good Smoke Entertainment, and try to get that name out there as something that actually has a staple in the game and not just something thought of in my head. I really want to be pushed out there because it's not just me. I got other people that that run with me, that rap with me. My brother Lil Rich, shout out Lil Rich, originally here from San Bernardino, but he's living in Louisiana right now. We got music together. There's you speaking of I think Empire Living. That one it's me and featuring him. We got two or three other ones on another, that not like they're not monetized yet or anything like that, but yeah, it's all Good Smoke. So we're trying to get that, just the brand out there in general, so we can really do something with it. Because you start, feel like everybody starts here and then they want to work themselves that way into something better, into the bigger and better things. And I started Good Smoke myself. Like it's from my own thought processes and my own feelings, and I want that to be the family name that we run with for the rest of the music career. I'm not looking to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna switch and I'll be on this label and that label. It's like, nah, like I'm taking it with me. I want make that part of whatever I'm going into, so it's still there always. And everybody that came with me, we all eating together and doing it together. You feel me? Good Smoke is just honestly attribute that to my lifestyle. I'm from California. We not. I'm not sober living all 24/7. You know, Yeah, I be high, I be chilling, you know what I'm saying? Good smoke entertainment. It felt right when I said it and it feels right when I hear it. And I run with it. It's not just like a name. It's a record label. It's the name merchandising and everything. You go to my store. You can go to my store right now and buy you a good smoke shirt, the hoodie if you want. I know it's getting hot, but you might want a hoodie for the wintertime. We got it. My name Trïppy. Can't front on that end. My name has changed countless times. I have, I've went from, I think the very first name I ever used when I rapped was Pyro. 17, I tried to make a song with my cousins and stuff. And, I said, oh yeah, I'm Young Pyro. And then I switched it. I'm Mac the Martian. Switched it again. I was Mind Gone. Switched it again. I was Trïppy Sneaks. That name to my sister and my brother because they were the ones that called me Sneaks. My real name is Chico, and they called me Sneaks because everybody called me Cheek. So it was like a little play on their words or whatever and how they wanted to run it. So I put that in there, and then I just wanted to simplify it and shorten it. I felt like when I rapped with it, it's one of those things where it's like too many words. Like you write in the bar and you're like, "Ooh, Sneaks, nah, take that out." So I tried to cut it off, and I'm a Gemini, so I let people know, hey, there's two of me, it's Trïppy and it's Sneak, and I ran with Trïppy. I took the I, gave it the two dots, switched it up a little bit, and so I'm running with Trïppy now, and I have been for shoot, about 2 years now. I think I haven't switched it up. I've been running with it pretty smooth. I like it. It feels right. I tell people, they ask me, oh, what's stage name? Oh, it's Trïppy. Just leave it at that. I know there's another Trïppy out there and other ones or whatever, but they're not me. It's only one Trïppy from Southern California, and that's this standing right here.
There's a lot of artists in San Bernardino, Inland Empire. What separates you from the rest of the pack? And if you had to pick a feature collaboration with any artist, who would it be?
Any artist whatsoever. If I could get any artist to collab with, man, I tell you right now, it'd be Kendrick Lamar. It would. If even if I could just get him to get on a hook with me or anything, if he could just say three words in the beginning of my song. You said with the Inland Empire, all the people out here, and then what makes me different. I feel like it's something like, that's why I picked that person as the person that I say I would feature with because when you do look at certain people in an empire in San Bernardino, a lot of people's mentalities are from the street. And so, even though everybody might have their own sound and their own flow about how they go about it, I feel like at the end of the day, it's a lot of street business when it comes to the music out here. Everybody's talking about their hood this or hood that, and it's like for me personally, I'm more of the like Wiz Khalifa, Kendrick Lamar. Like I'm laid back, I'm chilling, I'm smoking, I'm chilling. Like I'm not in the streets gang banging or anything like that. I'm a family man. I'm a family man who likes to indulge in the happy times. You feel me? Like other than that, I stick to myself. I do me, but the music speaks for itself at the end of the day. And I feel like if you go and you give my stuff a shot and you hear it, you'd understand why I say that I'm different. My flow is not the same as everybody else's. My story's not the same. My vibe's not the same.
Viral success with BBL Drizzy, as I mentioned to you before. But
Uh
what's your thoughts on the Kendrick and Drake beef?
oh, Kendrick won that absolutely. From start to finish. Everything he dropped was very thought out. It was very thought provoking, and regardless of what was said on either side, Drake or Kendrick, the allegations or anything like that, it's the rap game for a reason. It's a game. Everything is a game. Everything is a competition and a challenge, and so I feel like listened to every single one of them. I didn't just, to pick sides and say, oh, Kendrick, so I'm not going to listen to Drake. I listened to everything Drake put out. I can say that lyrically, Kendrick was unmatched. He said things in certain ways that Drake couldn't do it if he tried. It just wouldn't sound right. It's, Drake, you make the party music and you do you over there. That's why we made BBL Drizzy, because at the end of the day, it's Team Kendrick. You feel me? Like, other than that, I wouldn't mess with him on a good day. Tell you that right now. I feel like anybody out there, that's the wrong person to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go up against. Absolutely.
And as far as in your career and your success, who are you mostly thankful for?
Thankful for my wife and for my children and for my mother, who've always been here for me since I can remember. Not I mean, I've been with my wife 7 years, but still, like, music wise, I started this career with her, with my wife. I started this career with my mom on my side, rooting for me and hoping I'd do good and successful in this. And my sister, both of my sisters, I feel like I said, I'm a family man. And I feel like if it wasn't for family and people actually being there for people and being on their side when things get tough and things are dark and even when things are happy, it's like you can't succeed in this world without people right there rooting for you. So at the end of the day, it's all about them. For me, it's not like I don't have friends. I have associates. I have people that I associate myself with over time in life, but like diehard friends and like, fight to the end for them, not yet. Maybe one day, who knows? But for now, it's just me. It's just Trïppy. It's just me and my bro, and Good Smoke, and we trying to, you know, like I said, put a staple in it so people know it's there to stay.
Well, I'm definitely proud of you and your success, my friend. And
I appreciate that. Thank you.
and want nothing but the best for you. If you guys haven't checked out, check them out on all streaming platforms.
Oh yeah.
Got the hottest Bible track out there, BBL Drizzy. So I just want to say I appreciate your time. Wish you all the best, brother.
Oh yeah. Same to you. I appreciate your time. Hope you stay blessed.